Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. No periodic table, no alien talk. However, the creator did come through with a message. You already know. If this is your first time, hi, thank you for tuning in. Welcome. Follow us on YouTube at Inappropriate Radio TV. We're on Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as well, okay? Now, this segment is crazy, okay? You have angels for the day and angels for the night, okay? The portal's connected to help become accessible to everyone when the sun goes down, right? There are portals for that. And then there are portals that keep us afloat and keep our vibrations high during the day. The other day we talked about traveling mercies, and I think the creator wanted us to go into that because of this, okay? Because there are angels that protect us usually during the day that we don't get to interact with at nighttime, because the heavens are not closing, but the portals to them are not as accessible until certain times, right? At least after the sun goes down up until maybe around midnight. And then from midnight to 3, right, we have these opening and these closings at certain times. And the movement of the sun will tell us that. Like, they will tell us when and where the portals are being opened. The position of the sun will give us that information, okay? We do have ancestors from the underworld, or ancestors that are trapped here. This goes for other spirits as well that are not our ancestors, right? And it could be for whatever reason, whether it's from karma, incompletion of a task, or this is just their job, right? That the creator put them here for that, right? These placements or these portals are associated with schedules, right? And it's usually particularly speaking about 3 a.m., right? But there are, like I said, schedules that are associated with the heavens. And this is why there are reserved times for praying. Remember, they're not just Islam. There are other cultures and religions that reserve times for prayer because of the movement of the sun. And it is connected to portals being open in heaven and hell. This is why we have like the witch's hour. This is why we have sayings like the freaks come out at night, right? This is, like I said, really referring to 3 a.m. But these portals are open by schedule, okay? And 12 and 3 are like the main ones, and the movement of the sun will help you keep track of that, and it'll tell you enough, right? Once the sun goes down, the portals start to open up, and then they open in a sequence. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. And even if you look at like the different time zones and their geographic locations, it'll give you an idea of where the portals start to open first, okay? All the night portals are low in vibration, and the spirits that are low in vibration, they thrive really well once the portals that they're connected to start to open. I was led to a prophetic video, and this is where I actually got the download Prophet Levy, okay? This video confirms some information that was attached to the download where the creator had me speak about traveling mercies. It wasn't too far or long ago when we had the traveling mercy segment. It was really, really recent. And a lot of the things that he said confirmed my download, okay? Most of the time, the downloads I get for the podcast, anyway, they start out as like God showing me something or telling me something, right? And depending on the nature and the urgency, he'll have me either drop the segment right away, or I'll be given enough info, or he'll like have me do like research to confirm and support what the message is all about. Okay. Remember, we spoke about our ancestors being people of the sun. Black people in particular, right? And how this dimension is of water, and that's where most black people's traumas come from, outside of like the slave trade. And people who are not high enough in vibration, or they're not high, or at least high enough to connect to the sun, or people of the sun, right? And it's not just white people who can't connect to the sun or people of the sun, right? This lack of connection isn't about race. It's about frequency. It's about the God frequency, a particular level of enlightenment. So before y'all even go there, don't even try me, okay? Remember, all of us are mixed up, okay? We have mixed up blood, which means we have mixed up genes, which means our ancestors don't just look one way. They look all kinds of ways, right? Remember, our ancestors are bound to us by blood. And some of us can't connect with the sun because of that very blood, right? It could just be because you can't connect to people of the sun, or it's just strictly something dealing with your blood, your DNA, right? Even think about how like certain blood disorders are either set off and agitated by the sun, or access to the sun can kill them. These are like a lot of different cancers, and they're all blood related, okay? And it simply depends on like the karma or the debt associated with that blood, right? Has the karma or debt been paid off, right, or not? And it will allow you to be able to connect with other features of nature, like water, animals, other people, and the sun, okay? And that's a whole different topic, all right? But that's basically what I'm saying. Even think about black people and how we lack the ability to connect to the water, because it's not of this dimension, and it's connected to a different frequency that we're not totally tapped into yet, okay? Look at how some people like prefer night jobs, right? While others simply love, like they can't handle being up at night. They love the daytime and they love sleeping at night. Or just like how some people just dislike people, right? It's because their vessels doesn't allow them to ingest the frequency connected to certain things, okay? It's why you get irritated, happy, horny, hungry, even when you're in certain environments, right? You know how like it's summertime, in the summer people, they like to be out and about a little bit more during the summer, and some people actually prefer to come out once the sun goes down. This is when the warfare increases, okay? Now if you're a target, you're a target. It doesn't stop. You are not exempt from the different things that are out there to attack you. But during these times, the warfare is heightened. Once the sun goes down, and depending on where you are, it's a time connected to that particular portal. When they say all hell breaks loose, that's what they're saying. That's what they're referring to, okay? This is a good phrase to describe such an event, okay? Now, there's an adjustment of your own frequency that must occur in order for you to maintain a particular level of protection while you're out during these hours, because as we stated earlier, our angels, a lot of our angels, they leave at a certain time. So this is where your ancestors of the underworld and different dark angels coming out at these times, this is where they come. Because you have to fight like with like, right? These angels of a higher vibration, they don't fight with these low level demonic entities. There are angels of death that fight that, angels of darkness that fight that, and they're good, right? They're not like bad. The Creator put them here specifically for the people who are still active during the night hours, right? And your level of awareness of the environment, and the environment itself determines the extent that you must go to adjust your frequency in order to, number one, keep your light on, and number two, to keep those frequencies at bay. Okay, this aka transmuting, right? Basically, you're transmuting your energy, or shape shifting rather, in order to keep certain energies from being attracted to you. Because when you are of a higher vibration, when you are of the light, you become more attractive in the dark. Okay, some of us naturally change frequencies, right, without even knowing. Some of us, we just have certain things built in us genetically that will allow us to shift the atmosphere when we step into those spaces and places, right? While some of us, we are deliberately and knowingly commanding the darkness to be lit up when we step into these spaces, or vice versa. Sometimes the darkness can consume the light when certain entities and people walk into certain frequencies. It depends on, in certain spaces and places. It just all depends on your frequency that you are carrying, your level of enlightenment, your level of awareness. Okay, all of this is going to be based on who you are in the spirit and what it is the creator wants you to even just come into contact with. No one has a full idea. I mean, unless God has showed you, unless this is one of your prophetic gifts, no one has the full detail on the accounts that we endure when we are out and about, right? This is why places like Alaska is pretty scary. I mean, I don't really know a lot of other places that just are consumed by darkness for like long periods of time. I'm not really sure. But I think like Alaska might be like the most popular one, right? We all know about Alaska being 6 months day, 6 months night, right? This is an idea of a location, a central site for a really hectic portal, okay? This is a site where a lot of different entities get to dwell for long periods of time, because there is no sun, because there is no access to the vibration that is connected to the sun. And most of us, we don't even have a real connection with the earth, to be able to determine the type of frequency we need to even be in, whether it's day or night. Okay, so that's one of like the main things. Do you know the Muffin Man? Like, are you tapped in enough with yourself to even say what the correct frequency is and what isn't? Because a lot of people, they assume that they are in the right frequency, but they're not. They believe that they are doing the right thing when they are not. And this sometimes causes people to get attacked for no reason. This is those people who are out judging people, those people who are out making people feel bad for forging and carving out their own understanding of spirituality and the dimension that we're in. If you are sad constantly, I mean, without reason, of course, if you just lost your, pet dog, you'll be sad, right? Or if you lost your job, I'm saying things that should hold no weight in your life and they're affecting your frequency, or your frequency is just low. There's probably an attachment from one of these different portals that have opened, and because you travel out and about, or you're just awake at those times, right, they can connect with you. But I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all been enjoying your weekend. I hope you are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea because it's most definitely free. Love y'all.